Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Buffalo Georgetown Basketball Gym, where the Salette Lions are going to be taking on their big hometown rivalry, Georgetown. They've played them twice this year. In their first game, they pulled off a victory 42-45. In their second game, they were not able to pull off a victory. It was 34-28. And now to even it out, or to take the lead, I guess, in this three-game series, I guess you could say, Lions are going to come out wearing their blue. I'm Michael McCall, and to my left is Seamus Hanlon. Seamus, how are you doing?
Pretty good. I'm excited. This is going to be a really good game. It's the rivalries.
There's a lot of history behind this game. The Lions, every time they've played them in a regular season game, they've won. They've played them twice, once in 2007 and then once earlier this year. Coming to you quickly with the starting lineup for the Lions. 24, Matthew Romero. 22, Charles Prather. Number 3, Augustin Blood. Number 10, William Fitzpatrick. And number 11, Eamon Martin. For Georgetown, number 2, A.J. Watson. Number 3, Cameron Steinball. That's a player to look out for. He's a very fast and quick player. Puts a lot of points up on the board. Number 14, Logan Hummel. Number 24, Karen McQuett, and number 55, J.J. Hall. Matthew Romero drives to the hoop. It's going to be tipped out as Georgetown has hit a 3 to start the game off. And as I'm sure you can probably hear, the Crazies are here, letting themselves be heard. Eamon Martin finds Charles Prather at the free throw line. Easy 2. That one's going to go hard off the backboard. No good. A.J. Hall with the rebounds. J.J. Hall with the rebound. Cameron Steinball gives it to Watson at the wing. Holding on to it. Finds Cameron in the corner. Gives it to Watson. Back to Steinbach. Steinbach's going to take it up to the top of the key. Holding on to it. Gives it to McQuett. McQuett threatening. Gives it to Watson. Watson holding it way outside the perimeter. Back to Steinbach on the left wing. Back over to Watson. Moving this ball around the perimeter. Lions tight defense in the post. Steinbach gonna try to find something. McQuett, a three-point shooter, takes a 3. That one's not gonna fall. There's gonna be a foul in the court. I think it's gonna be on Augustin Blood for over the back, but we'll see.
I mean, so far it's been pretty good defense by La Salette. They're really getting up on them, and they haven't been able to get good shots off.
Yeah, the Lions' defense in the paint is really good. They're not letting anybody, especially Steinbach, into the paint. That foul's on Eamon Martin. His team's first. Steinbach gets it to J.J. Hall. J.J. tips it to Watson. Gus Blood, nice defense, gets Watson off his feet. J.J. gets the rebound, and there's going to be a foul on the Lions. Their second in the early minutes of the first quarter. It's going to be on number 3. That one's on Augustin Blood. And J.J. Hall's at the free throw line to take 2 free throws. 6 minutes, 12 seconds left in the first quarter. He's going to sink his first one, taking the lead 4-0. Second shot goes hard off the front of the rim. Eamon Martin comes up with the rebound. Gets it to William Fitzpatrick. Trying to set something up. Going to take it past the 10-second line. Gives it to Eamon Martin. Over to Charles Prather. Charles Prather, nice pass into Eamon Martin in the post. Can't really do anything with it. He's going to step out of bounds. That's the Lions' second turnover in a row. We got to control that early on in this game to match the score of Georgetown. Steinbach's going to bring it past. Fitzpatrick guarding him. Over to Watson on the right corner. To the corner to Steinbach. Steinbach takes it back up to the top. Lions defense still being strong in the post. Watson on the top of the key with it. Gets it over to Steinbach. Again, way outside the perimeter. McQuett is open in the corner. They're going to find him. He's going to drive, and he's going to be called for the travel. That was very risky. McQuett was in the corner. A bad pass by Steinbach resulted in no points. That could have been a big 3 for Georgetown. Lions having to deal with the press. Georgetown gets the steal. Charles Prather rips it right out of the hands of McQuet. Matthew with it, over to Eamon. Fitzpatrick now with it on the right wing. Puts the ball on the floor, picks up his dribble, gives it over to Eamon Martin. Eamon swinging around, gives it to Fitzpatrick, top of the key, over to Matthew Romero. Fumbles it, goes in between the legs of Hummel, and Gus Blood's gonna jump on it, and they're gonna call the foul on Hummel. That's exactly what we needed. Gus Blood protects the ball, and Hummel tries to reach in there and get his hands on it, but it's gonna result in a foul. Smart basketball IQ moment there from number 3, Augustin Blood. Gus Blood gets the ball at the elbow. He's not going to get the ball. He's not going to get the shot, excuse me. The ball's going to go out of bounds. I'm guessing no Georgetown player touched it. But Watson's going to have it. Looked like a Georgetown player touched it, but refs don't call anything. JJ Hall with it. Steinbach over to the wing. McQuet open for the 3 again. That one's barely going to go out, but that is very dangerous. McQuet is a 3-point shooter. You got to be watching him. Fitzpatrick gets it over to Eamon Martin. Charles Prather on the corner, holding it. Swings it all the way over to Matthew. The line's still not on the board. 4 minutes, 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Ball tipped. Eamon Martin with it. Gets it to Charles Prather. Charles Prather gets nice fancy work, goes up, no good. JJ Hall with the rebounds. Steinbach quickly bringing it up the court. Finds Watson, and he's going to be called for the travel. Eamon Martin's going to inbound it. Fitzpatrick gets it back to Eamon Martin. Back to Fitzpatrick, trying to break this press. Finds Gus Blood, over to Matthew Romero. Matthew holding on to it. Eamon Martin, now back to Fitzpatrick. 3 minutes, 45 seconds left. Fitzpatrick picks up his dribble. Mistake there by him, but he's going to recover by getting it to Matthew. Ball tipped out of Charles Prather's hands. Steinball jumps on it. Fights over it with Watson, his own teammate. And Georgetown is going to call a timeout. The Lions still not on the scoreboard. 4-0, 3:28 left in the 3:29 left in the first quarter. And I mean, I don't know what the Lions really need to do on offense. Their defense is looking solid, not letting anything go into the paint. But their offense, they're finding a hard time getting around and getting them onto the paint. JJ Hall's a big presence for Georgetown, preventing any big layups being made in. And it looks like Santa Claus has made an appearance onto the court. Might come over and say hi to the Crazies. Lions out on the court, waiting for Georgetown. Georgetown finally comes out of their timeout. And Hummel's going to inbound it to Steinbach. Marquette is open again. Matthew's going to jump out, but Marquette is deep outside the perimeter. That is a good thing. Over to Steinbach. Lions playing a tight zone. This is very good to see from the Lions. 3-12. Charles jumps the passing lane, gives Marquette a wide open lane. Steinbach gets into the paint somehow and throws up a layup. That's good for 2. Lions got to protect against that. Lions moving quickly to break the press. Eamon still not past the 10-second line. Gets it to Gus Blood. There we go. Holding on to it. Almost gets the ball tipped away from him. Matthew with it in the corner. Drives, pulls out, gives it to Fitzpatrick. Tight defense from Georgetown. Lions struggling a lot. Matthew is going to take a 3. That one's barely going to go off. Charles Prather grabs the rebound. Going to go back in, trying to get some points. And that's going to be a bad pass by Charles Prather. Easily intercepted by Logan Hummel, 14.
Yeah, I think on offense, Lassa needs to have just more crisp passes, not giving those turnovers, because that can lead to offense for Buffaloes, which when they get those chances, they capitalize on offense. And as we can see, the score is 8-0, and it's been a pretty big factor for the Buffaloes.
Yeah, Georgetown just taking it away right now, 8-0. The Lions a little bit frustrated. However, they're keeping calm, which is good. There's another turnover for the Lions. It's an over and back. The Lions just got to figure out what to do on offense. Quet holding on to it. Finds Steinbach in the corner. Watson with it. Gives it back to Steinbach. Steinbach holding on to it on the left corner. Bad pass to Watson. He'll recover it. Watson gets it to McQuet. Back to Watson. Steinbach threatening the three. Holds on to it. Ticking the clock down. Minute 23 seconds left in the first quarter. 8-0. Watson with it. Gets it in the Hall. That's going to be a bad pass. Going to roll right out of bounds. That's what the Lions need right now. Now they just got to figure out how to put the ball into the hoop. They're struggling against this press right now from Georgetown. They're going to get a pass 10-second line. Quick pass to Gus Blood. Nice play there. Gus Blood holding on to it. Gives it to Eamon Martin. Over to Matthew Romero. Matthew dribbling up. He's going to draw his defenders away. Gets Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick over to Eamon. Matthew holding on to it. Gives it to Eamon on the corner. Dribbling. Gives it to Fitzpatrick. He has Matthew open. Didn't see him. Matthew now with it. Over to Eamon Martin. Eamon holding on to it. Fitzpatrick. Watson jumps to prevent the three. Eamon with it. 35 seconds left. Matthew with it. Gets into Gus Blood. Gus holding on to it. Loses control of his dribble. Gets it to Eamon. Eamon's going to take the three. That looks good. And there we go. Lions put 3 points on the board. Eamon Martin hits a three. 8-3. 20 seconds left in the first quarter.
Those first 3 points, I think, those first points are really crucial because it gets the team going when you make when you have a good offensive drive like that.
Exactly.
And, yeah.
We got to grab the momentum from that. The Lions are playing aggressive defense right now, preventing the shot, and they do that with no fouls. Exactly what they needed to do on that possession. Prevented Georgetown from scoring any more, stopping their 8-0 run. And they're going to go into the second quarter. The Lions, I'm going to say with the momentum, they know they hit a three. They're figuring out their offense a little bit. They're controlling the ball more, passing it around quickly. And the Lions defense is still looking strong. Georgetown has been rarely able to find holes, but when they do, they capitalize on the Lions' mistake, and they quickly take advantage of it, and they've been able to put 8 points on the board from that. Lions JV coming off of a victory against the Georgetown JV, maybe giving the varsity a little incentive to match their JV players and take away a victory themselves.
Yeah, coming out into the second quarter, I think they just need to find the open people on offense, and so they can capitalize on that and get good steals on defense, play good solid defense.
William Fitzpatrick is a great player at getting his hands in the passing lane, grabbing steals, but so is number 2, Watson, for Georgetown. Those two players battling against each other. Eamon Martin grabs at the top of the key. Matthew finds Charles, over to Gus Blood. Nice jumper, that's going to roll out. Charles Prather with the rebound, puts it in for 2. Charles Prather, a little fancy footwork down to the paint. Steinbach gets it over to Watson. Lions have closed the lead to only 3. Steinbach holding it. Got to get a stop here. McQuet with it, out far by the perimeter. Matthew jumps the passing lane. And they're going to call a carry on Watson. Lions finally might get the momentum after it being a little nervous in the first quarter. Lions starting to crawl back and scrape away at the scoreboard. Lions trying to break this press. Amon puts the ball on the ground. You gotta get it past, and they're gonna call 10 seconds. A crucial mistake on the Lions' part. Coach Bezia now calls a timeout. We gotta figure out some way to get past this press of Georgetown, which has been the result of 3 turnovers already for the Lions. Last game the Lions played for the regular season game against Clifton Central Comets. They lost 51-38, and they were doing really well in the first quarter, but then they started to get a lot of turnover. They started to, they had a lot of turnovers, and that resulted in the Comets slowly scraping back and putting themselves in a big lead. The Lions got to figure out how to just control the ball, hold on to it, and get past this press by Georgetown. This is still anyone's ball game. 7 minutes, 7 seconds left in the first half, 8-5. Waslette's defense still looking strong. Watson gets it into number 10, who just recently came in. Steinbach gonna throw up a crazy layup. Hall gets the rebound, puts it in, no good. And Georgetown's gonna not bring the press. Ball tipped by Watson. That was a bad pass there by Eamon Martin. Eamon Martin inbounds it to William Fitzpatrick. Gonna try to put some points on the board. Gets it to Matthew Romero. Matthew spins around, gets to Eamon Martin. Back to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick had a nice screen there from Charles. Gustin Blood with it. Drives in, being aggressive with it. That's what we want to see. Fitzpatrick open for the 3, takes it, and there we go. Boom! Fitzpatrick lights out at the 3-point line. Last game hitting 3 in a row. This game coming off with a big 3, tying the game. 6 minutes left in the first half. 8-8. Georgetown's ball. Cameron Steinbach. Way outside the perimeter, gets to Watson. Lions have the momentum. Gotta get something here. McQuett, way outside the perimeter again. That's what this Lions defense is doing. That's good to see. Lotus loses the ball, tipped by Eamon Martin. Nice play there by the Lions. Lions really finding their rhythm. Getting good possessions on offense and defense, both right there in a row. McQuett gets Lotus in the corner. Now over to Watson on the right wing. Gets Hall in the paint. Finds Lotus, and he's gonna sink that. 2-pointer for the Lions. Quick jumper. Georgetown again bringing the press. Eamon easily gets it to Matthew. Matthew has Charles. Charles does not see the pass. It was 3-on-2. J.J. Hall was the only one in the paint, and both Gustin Blood and Charles Prather were down there. The pass was a little bit too low for Charles to grab, and that's a turnover for the Lions. A costly turnover at that point. 5 minutes. Watson with a quick 3, no good. Gustin Blood against number 3, Steinbach. Gustin Blood wins out on that one, grabs the rebounds. Eamon Martin finds Charles Prather over to Matthew, open for the 3, doesn't take it, gives it to Eamon Martin. He's gonna take a fadeaway 3, and boom! Eamon Martin, 2 for 2 at the 3-point line. Lions hustling back on defense. Lions take the lead for the first time in this game, 10-11. McQuett gonna take a 3, try to chip back, no good. Eamon Martin aggressively against Steinbach, grabs the rebound. Falls in the hands of Gus Blood. Fitzpatrick takes it past the 10-second line. Eamon Martin threatens the 3, doesn't take it. Gets it over to Matthew. Matthew holding on to it on the left wing. Gives it to Eamon. You know how the tides have turned. Lions back in the lead, 11-10. We're in the lead for the first time with 4 minutes in the first half. Cameron falls over, trying to take the steal. The Lions didn't take advantage. Matthew hits a 3, boom, from the corner. The Lions knocking down all their 3 points this game. Georgetown a little bit flustered, gonna call a timeout, talk things over to try to stop this running streak of the Lions. 3 minutes, 49 seconds left. 14-10. The Lions really have the momentum right now, and they got to keep it. The Lions definitely mentally here for this game. Crawling back after being down 8-0, taking the lead 14-10. But they do have to be careful. Last game, the Lions were knocking down their three-pointers. As I said, Fitzpatrick hit 3 in a row, and they were looking really strong. But three-pointer percentages are, I don't think, ever above 50%. So they need to figure out a way to get the ball into the post, and they can't rely on three-pointers this entire game. We're getting a wide variety right now. Fitzpatrick, Eamon Martin, Matthew Romero, all knocking down their three-pointers. As Georgetown comes out of the timeout. McQuet with it. Gets the ball tipped away. He recovers it. Watson now with it, way outside the perimeter. Steinbach in the corner. Has Hall, throws it over. Hall recovers it. Throws up a two. No good. Way off the backboard. Eamon Martin, a strong rebound. Fitzpatrick quickening the pace. Gets it up the court. Eamon Martin with it on the right wing. Takes a dribble, gives it to ball Matthew Romero, over to Fitzpatrick. Nice pass into Charles Prather. Charles spinning around. Watson's gonna get his hands on it. Turnover from Charles Prather. And Georgetown really slowing things down. Salette keeping their pace up, which is good. They want to control the pace of this game. Steinbach trying to get some room, but Matthew is not budging. Watson taking his time, gets McQuet down. Gus Blood there to meet him. Steinbach takes the three. That one's no good. Charles Prather with the rebounds. Fitzpatrick holding it, gives it to Eamon Martin. Eamon Martin on the right wing, takes a dribble to the middle. Finds Matthew. Now in the hands of William Fitzpatrick. 2 minutes and 29 seconds left in the first half. Matthew Romero holding on to it. Gus Blood, high post, finds Fitzpatrick. Little scary pass there. Matthew Romero picks up his dribble, finds Gus Blood. Gus Blood, great this game. Charles Prather finds the opening, puts a right hand layup in there off the backboard, good for two. The Lions just looking solid right now. Cameron Steinbach finds Watson in the corner. Lotus for the three. He'll sink that one. Lions going to quickly come back. Eamon Martin gives the ball to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick back to Eamon Martin. Eamon Martin takes a step towards the middle. Gets past the 10-second line. Finds Charles Prather. Bad pass. Charles covers it. Has another opening, and he puts it in for another easy two. The Lions continuing to score, and after such a low-scoring first half, the Lions starting to put the Lions put 16 points on the board in this second quarter.
You know, Charles Prather, he's getting down low and he's getting open so that they can pass to him and he gets those easy layups, and I think that's a really big part in this game.
Yeah, and another shot from Hall and a good rebound from the big men down to the post. Nice the pass is tipped from Charles. Eamon recovers it. A three from Fitzpatrick, and boom! William Fitzpatrick, our little man, down on the left wing, sinks another three, bringing the score 21-13. Lions running away with it. Watson at the top, finds Steinbach. Steinbach holding on to it, gives it to Lotus. Lotus open, doesn't take the three. Back to Steinbach. Steinbach takes a dribble to the middle. 35 seconds left. Watson, he's going to take a three. That one's going to go hard off. McQuet with the rebound. Back to Watson. Nice pass there. However, that shot's not good. Steinbach with the rebound. A crazy spin move. Puts it in for two. Lions ball, 15-21. Eamon taking dribble past the 10-second line. Finds Fitzpatrick. 10 seconds left. Crazy's counting a little bit too fast. Hopefully Lions will figure that out. Eamon's going to take a three. That's going to be in. What a shot from Eamon Martin. You don't even hear the buzzer, but the buzzer goes off as the Crazies go crazy. And Eamon Martin, what a three to end the first half of Georgetown Salette varsity basketball game. I mean, I don't know what to say. The Lions varsity offense just absolutely stunning. Being extremely solid on defense. They've just found their rhythm, and I mean, we'll come back to you as soon as we can with the percentages and how many threes we've hit in this game, but Eamon Martins has 2, Fitzpatrick has 2, Matthew has 1. But please come back in about 9 minutes to finish this game off and see if the Lions are able to pull it off. But until then, this is Michael McCall and Seamus Hanlon. Thank you very much. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of the Georgetown versus La Salette Lions basketball game, where the Lions struggled in the first half with only 2 points, where Georgetown had 8 points, and then a roaring second half where Georgetown only had 7 points and La Salette had 21 points. Eamon Martin hitting 3 threes, Fitzpatrick 2 threes. Just Lions lights out at the three-point line tonight, coming back as Georgetown misses their first points of the second half. Michael McCall and Seamus, what a thrilling first half. What do you think about it?
Yeah. I mean, Fitz and Eamon, they're really playing well, and they're getting open out on the sides and making some really good shots. But we also got to keep in mind Chuck, or Charles Prather, down low. He's getting open, and he's making those layups and getting the points.
Yeah, I agree. The Lions defense also has been really good, but Charles Prather, he has 8 points. 6 points, I believe. I'm not sure exactly how many points he has, but he has a lot of rebounds. Really aggressive on defense. And the Lions, their defense, you also have to remember that. Their defense has been fantastic all game. Really solid. Eamon Martin drives to the hoop. That one's going to roll off, and he's going to get a rebound assisted by Charles Prather. Charles at the corner, fakes a three. I don't think he's going to take that. Fitzpatrick now with that on the wing. Hands it off to Eamon Martin. Slowing things down, the Lions. Takes a dribble, puts the ball on the ground, gives it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick holding on to it. Fitzpatrick, he's guarded by Steinbach tightly. Gus Flood with it. He's going to turn around, take the jumper. That one's going to bounce up and roll around. Not going to go in. Charles Prather gets Gus Flood's rebound, gets another rebound after his missed shot, and there we go. He's going to put it in for 2, and there's Charles Prather for you. 2 offensive rebounds and 2 points, 26-15. Georgetown's ball. Georgetown kicks it to McQuett. McQuett holding on to it, gets it to Watson way outside the perimeter. Dribbles in, takes the jumper. That's not going to fall. Steinbach with the rebound, throws it off. No good. Charles Prather grabs it. Fitzpatrick tips it. McQuett recovers it. Watson now with it. Dribbling around, steps back. Drives up top, throws it to Steinbach, who's open. Drives to the middle. Goes in, and he's going to put that in for 2. Somehow finds his way in between all the Lions' defense and lays it in for 2, 17-26. Charles Prather holding on to it. Finds Gus Flood at the high post. Holding on to it, spins around, gives it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, nice job setting up the offense. Gives it to Eamon Martin. Charles Prather in the corner with it. Matthew now looking for something. Drives right, pulls back out. Drives to the middle. Gives it to Gus Flood. Gus Flood gets around Hall. Pump fakes, throws it up, and he's going to be fouled on the shot. A very low fouling game. I believe there were 3 fouls in the first half, and this is the first of the second. Number 55, J.J. Hall, his first. Nice way for the Lions to slow it down and get a chance to put 2 more points on the board. Gus Flood's first free throw is going to be short. Not enough power. Lines up for his second shot. And that one's going to be short again. Steinbach with the rebounds.
I don't think, Fitzpatrick, I don't think it's just his threes that's making him have a really good game. I think also him up on offense, setting up the offense. I think he's doing a really good job of getting everybody set up and making sure the play is going well.
100%. William Fitzpatrick, little baby Steph Curry out there knocking down 2 threes and really running the offense, telling people where to go. He has a really good eye for the court. Eamon Martin has an open break, drives in, and a nice layup there for Eamon Martin. A little bit of fancy sauce down in the paint. Rolls it off his fingers for 2. Watson's going to take a jumper, no good. Rebound by McQuett. Finds Watson at the free throw line. Drives past, loses control of it. Charles Prather comes up with the rebound. Gives it to Eamon Martin. Fitzpatrick grabs that pass. Gets Eamon Martin to the wing. Gives it to Charles in the corner. Charles to Matthew. Fitz, then Matthew. Fitz down with it. Now Matthew. Eamon now in the corner. Dribbling around. Gives it to Matthew. Lions taking their time. Have the momentum. Watson's going to come up with the steal. It's 3-on-2 right now. Amon, nice defense. He's going to be called for the block, though. That's his second, or excuse me, that's his first, team second. And nope, I was right the first time. That's his second, team's first. And Blaze Laronia, number 5, planning on coming into the game. Watson's going to sink his first one, shortening the lead even more as Lotus comes in for 55, J.J. Hall. Blaze Laronia comes in for William Fitzpatrick to give him a breather. Now the Lions have 3 big men in the post, and I think they did that because J.J. Hall was just taken out. Watson makes his second one. Score 21-28, Lions up by 7. Very plausible for Georgetown to take it back. They just gotta keep their offense. Matthew, nice ball movement, almost travels, gets it to Charles. Amon with it, finds Blaze at the top of the key. Blaze gives it to Matthew. Matthew finds Gus in the paint, and he's gonna get the reaching foul. And number 14, Logan Hummel, gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar. That's gonna be their first foul. That's Logan's second. Amon Martin finds Charles Prather in the post. Charles misses, gets his own rebounds. Now over to Matthew. Matthew takes the 3. That one's going to go hard off. Gus Blood wrestles with the rebound. It's going to fall into the hands of Logan Hummel, though. Steinbach fumbles it, recovers it, takes it past the 10-second line. McQuet with it, gets it to Steinbach. Steinbach meets a brick wall, and that will be Gustin Blood. Now Watson with it. The Lions really cannot let Georgetown score here. If they do, it's going to be a big momentum booster. Lotus gets a big spin around, and he's going to put it in for 2, 23-28. Amon Martin and Matthew Romero taking it up. Matthew finds Charles Prather on the left wing. Gives it to Blaze Laronia. Aiming for a 3. That one's not going to fall. Charles Prather with the rebounds. He's going to go up, and he's going to get fouled. And as we were just saying, percentage for three-point shooting is not over 50%. So we do have to expect for Salette to start missing their 3s, and we've seen that in the second quarter. And that could be just because they're tired. They just had a very intense first half. Charles lines up for his first free throw. And he's going to knock that one down. Beautiful free throw shot by Charles Prather as J.J. Hall comes back into the game. (29-23). Charles lines up for his second one. Cox shoots, and that one's good. Lions make the lead deficit by 7. Once again, McQuet gets to Watson. Watson gives it to Steinbach. Steinbach gives it to McQuet. McQuet back to Steinbach. Almost intercepted by Blaze. Laronia almost gets it again. Now Watson with it. Gets the open drive. Throws in the layup off the rim hard. Lions good defense met there by 3 players. Taking it back up the court. Amon Martin. Amon holding on to it. Doesn't have someone open until he finds Blaze. Blaze gets it to Gus. Gus fumbles it. Matthew versus Watson. Matthew, he's going to foul Watson. And it's going to go in for 2. Worst possible scenario there happened for the Lions. 3-point, possibly a 3-point play. Watson knocked down both of his free throws earlier. It's only a 5-point game now with a minute 56 seconds left in the third quarter. And he's going to miss that free throw. And luckily, the Lions are going to come up with the rebound. Blaze Laronia holding on to it, gets it to Matthew. Matthew brings it quickly past the 10-second line. Minute 47 seconds. Matt, quick jumper. That one's gonna bank in. Nice shot there by Matthew Romero. Taking the game into his hands. Takes the jumper and nails it. Steinbach. Now Lotus for a 3. That's gonna go off the top of the rim. I don't know why that's not out of bounds, but ball's gonna still stay in play. McQuet takes a deep 3. That one's hard off the rim, and nice rebound there by Charles Prather. Steinbach attempts to get it, but it's no good. Amon Martin, tightly guarded by Steinbach to get Steinbach off balance. Matthew Romero now with it. Nice pass into Charles Prather. Charles Prather goes for the N1, throws the shot up. No good. He gets fouled on it. Charles Prather visiting the free throw line once again in the second half. That's Watson's first foul, team's fourth foul. The Lions are no foul danger. And Charles is going to knock his first one down. However, Georgetown, they have 4, 3 more fouls, and the Lions are in the bonus. Elijah Hall looking to come into the game. Charles Prather takes his second shot and boom, knocks that one down. Elijah's coming in for Blaze, or excuse me, he's coming in for Gus. Gus needs a breather. He's been playing incredibly well out there. Aggressive. Steinbach crosses the 10-second line. McQuet with it. 34-25. Watson over to Steinbach. He's going to take a 3 hard off the rim. Blaze Aronia grabs the rebound. Watson gets his hands over there. Ball flung. Watson gets his hands on it again. Now J.J. Hall with it. Steinbach drives, meets Eamon Martin, takes the jumper. No good. Eamon Martin comes up with the rebound. 37 seconds left. Steinbach hassling Eamon Martin the whole way up. Finds Matthew at the wing. Matthew gets past his defender, gives it to Charles Prather. Charles recovers it. And what a beautiful layup there by Charles Prather.
Charles Prather's also having a really good game. You know, he's really efficient down low, and he's been like every time he gets the ball, he knows what to do, and he's making good plays, and he's getting those points to help the team.
We've got 4 seconds left in the game. Steinbach's going to take the last three-pointer. He takes it. No good. Blaze Lavronia comes up with the rebound, and the Lions keeping the lead in the third quarter. A strong third quarter for the Lions. Just fantastic. They weren't able to knock down their threes. What did they do? They adapted. They figured out how else to get the ball around, get it into the hoop, and as you saw, a beautiful jumper there from Matthew Romero. And Matthew Romero just drives in, takes the jumper, puts it in for 2. Beautiful shot there by Matthew Romero. The Lions really playing strong right now. Strong defense, meeting the Georgetown's every attack with a counter attack. Every time Georgetown scores, looks like the Lions come back and score again. And when the Lions do score, they've been coming down and stopping Georgetown with really great, strong defense. And as William Fitzpatrick looks like he's coming in for Matthew Romero to give Matthew a breather after a really good first 3 quarters. However, this is still any man's game. 8 minutes left to play, 36-25. Lions are up by 11. They really got to keep the intensity, keep the focus. The Lions really need to keep this streak up, and I'm going to have to knock on wood after I say this, but they have not lost in a regular season game to Georgetown yet. They've lost in tournament games, but not in a regular season game. And hopefully they can pull it off tonight, as Elijah's in, so is Fitzpatrick. Matthew is taking a seat with Augustin Blood. Fitzpatrick gets to Eamon. Eamon holding on to it. Troubles to the top. He finds Matthew. That ball's picked up by Watson. That was a bad pass by Eamon. Eamon, nice defense. He stops Watson from scoring, and there's the strong defense we wanted from the Lions. Lions recovering. Fitzpatrick's ball. 7:35 left in the fourth quarter. Eamon Martin over with it on the wing. Being double guarded. They don't want him taking any more threes. Timeout. Coach Spezia didn't like what he was seeing. The Lions keeping control of it, but Georgetown bringing their defense to counterattack the Lions' offense. And I would like to give a quick shout out to one of our great teachers, Mr. Bourbeau, teaches me Latin and art history. He's been to the school for a very long time. He's also one of the directors for the plays. Also, thank you for all those who commented. It's always nice to see that you guys are listening and contributing. If you have any feedback, please give it to us. 25-36. Lions coming out of the huddle. 7:25 left in the fourth quarter. And a huge advantage for the Lions is the Crazies. Extremely loud. I didn't even hear the buzzer at the end of the first half. But that also might be because I do have a headset on. But Amon's trying to find someone. Gets it to Fitzpatrick. Gets the screen from Elijah. Elijah moves. Nothing happens. Sets it again. Fitzpatrick gets it to Amon. Amon going to take it up top. Finds Blaze over to Fitzpatrick in the corner. Fitzpatrick gets past Steinbach. Gives it to Amon Martin. Amon Martin gives it to Blaze Aronia. Reversing the ball. Nice slow ball movement. Trying to get something. Not forcing anything. Amon Martin with it. Georgetown really stepping up their D. Really in the faces of the Lions right now. And Watson's going to poke it out from Watson. Watson's going to poke it out from Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick loses it again. And it's going to be over and back. Gus Blood, he's coming in for Charles Prather. Matt's going to come in. He's coming in for Fitzpatrick. Nope, sorry, he's coming in for Blaze Laronia. Gus Blood and Elijah Hall are going to have to take care of J.J. Hall. Steinbach walks past the 10-second line, down by 11, gives it to Watson. Watson gets it into J.J. Hall. Gus Blood right there to meet him and tips the ball out of bounds. Georgetown's ball. Steinbach finds J.J. Hall on the corner. Quick handoff to Steinbach, drives. Gets to McQuett in the corner for the three. That's going hard off the rim. Watson with the rebound, lays it in for two. 27-36. Fitzpatrick going to slow things down. 6:20. Georgetown still in striking distance. Finds Matthew. And now back over to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick at the wing. Fitzpatrick gets to Amon on the left wing. Tight defense on Georgetown. Over to Matthew. Matthew to the corner to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick gets past his defenders, almost loses it, finds Amon at the top. Over to Matthew. Matthew, nice pass into Gus Blood. Gus Blood over to Fitzpatrick. Back to Amon Martin. Lions keeping the ball. Very nerve-wracking from where I'm sitting. Gus Blood spinning around. Got to get rid of it. Gives it to Fitzpatrick. 5:39. Amon Martin drives, and there's the foul. The play is stopped. Clock stopped. It's going to be Georgetown's fifth foul. It's on number 24, McQuett. Heron McQuett, that's his first, team's fifth. That pass is intercepted by Watson. Matthew lining up to take the charge. No, doesn't. Nice. Nope. Matthew's going to get called for the blocking foul, and that's a three-point play on Watson. That's, I believe, the third time that's happened. I've really got to figure out how to stop doing that. 29-36. Watson puts it, if he makes this, puts it very easily striking distance for Georgetown. And he does knock down that free throw. 30-36. Ball inbounded to William Fitzpatrick. Lions bringing the press. Amon Martin has it. Gets past the 10-second line, picks up his dribble, gets it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, ball tipped by Watson. Gotta watch out for that. Amon at the free throw line, gives it to Fitzpatrick. Quick pass to Elijah Hall. Elijah gets JJ off his feet. Gus Blood with the rebound. Gus turns around, throws the ball up, does not go in, but he's going to the free throw line as Charles Prather stands to come into the game. That's Georgetown's sixth foul. Cameron Steinbach's first. Gustin lines up, takes it, and he sinks that one. Big free throw there from Augustin Blood. Elijah Hall takes a seat as Charles comes in for him. Gustin, after missing his two earlier, lines up with 1 and 2. Knocks down the second one. 38-30. 5:03 left in the fourth. Steinbach takes it past the 10-second line. Finds Watson. Watson to McQuet. Sorry, Watson now with it. Takes the shot. No good. Eamon Martin comes out of nowhere, grabs the rebound. Matthew Romero. Nice grab there. Matthew going fast, gets it Gus Blood. It's intercepted by McQuet going quickly down the other end. He's going to take a shot. He's going to be fouled, and it's going in. He fell on the ground. That's another and one for the Lions. That's the Lions' 4th foul. And that's Matthew Romero's 3rd foul. McQuet lines up, takes it, and he sinks it. 3-point play there, 33-38. Ball inbounded to William Fitzpatrick. Matthew with it. Now Eamon, quickly breaking the press. Back to Eamon, nice fake pass there from Fitzpatrick. Nice pass into Gus Blood, wide open. Lays it in for 2, and as you're getting nervous, Gustin Blood comes back to put it in for 2. To keep the Lions in a bigger lead. Watson out to McQuet. McQuet's gonna take a 3. And they're gonna get called for 3 seconds in the paint. A big play for the Lions. I believe J.J. Hall called for 3 seconds in the paint. Lions, Georgetown gonna call a timeout. One thing I would like to draw your attention to is the Lions have 4 fouls when Georgetown has 6. Georgetown cannot afford to foul the Lions, especially Augustin Blood or Charles Prather, because if they do, they're going straight to the free throw line to shoot a 1-and-1.
I think a good thing about La Salette is that whenever they get scored on, they know that they have to come back and get another more points up to not make the lead go by any bigger.
Yes, exactly. You know, after the Lions are scored on, they're not brooding on the fact that they just got scored on or that they've made a big foul. They grab the ball and get right to it. They're going straight back on offense, and Matthew Romero was a big factor of that pass to Gus. He did commit the and-1, probably a little frustrating for him, but moves right past it and gets it straight to the hoop to get Gus Blood a nice layup for 2. And you know, I was talking to actually my dentist. He used to be a professional soccer player, and he said that when you get on the level of professionals, which we're not there, but he says when you're on that level, the skill level is the same, but it's the mental game that really puts people above. And things like that, what we just saw from Matthew Romero, that's what makes good players great, is just being able to overcome those mistakes that they make and be able to come back from it. And J.J. Hall is going to aggressively foul Augustin Blood, putting the Lions in the bonus, sending Augustin Blood to the free throw line. Augustin could have passed it to Matthew Romero, but he sensed that he was going to get a foul, and he held on to it and did get the foul from J.J. Hall, his second, team's 7th. 40-33, takes the first one, and that's no good. Charles Prather almost tips it in, but Watson's going to come up with the rebound. 33-40, Steinbach with it. Almost tipped away by Eamon, but Watson recovers it. In the corner, McQuet with it. Nice defense there by Charles Prather. Lodes with it. He is going to take it. That's an air ball. Charles Prather off of his legs. He grabs the ball after Watson tries to throw it off of his legs to out of bounds. What a crazy play there by Charles Prather. And they're going to get the foul on Lodes, bringing the Lions to Georgetown to eight fouls. That's Lodes' 2nd foul. Charles at the free throw line. Lines up, takes it, and knocks that one down. Great play there by Charles Prather. 41-33. 3 minutes and 31 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Lions in the bonus, holding the lead right now. Charles takes his 2nd free throw. He's not going to make it, but he also passes the lane, so that's a lane violation. So even if it went in, it wouldn't have counted. Georgetown's ball. 3:31 left in the 4th. 41-33. It's going to be off of the Lions. It's going to be Georgetown's ball. Steinbach inbounding it, gets to Watson. He's open for the three. Looked like it might have been tipped there by Charles Prather. J.J. Hall gets it out to Steinbach. The Crazy's making tons of noise right now. Steinbach trying to figure out something. Clock ticking down. Marquette gets into the Hall. Ball tipped away. Charles Prather comes up with it. And Fitzpatrick's going to pick it up slowly. Watson goes in, tries to steal. Hard pass into Gus Blood, comes off of his hands. Marquette going there, and there's going to be a travel called on the court. I thought it might have been a blocking foul, but Marquette travels, and it's going to be a timeout called by Georgetown. Lions going to talk things through with 2 minutes, 50 seconds left in the fourth quarter, 41-33. The minute clock starts now for the timeout. And Seamus, what a game. Lights out three-pointers at three-point shooting from the Lions in the first half. Lions weren't able to knock things down, started to adapt a little bit, and just, I think we're going to have to assign a play of the game, and what do you think?
Well,
I mean, I'm thinking maybe that shot from Eamon over in the wing right before the first half ends, a little iffy. We didn't know how we were going to do. The lead was not big enough to be comfortable with. Eamon takes it, steps back, pulls away, fade away, knocks it down. A big three for the Lions.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to award play of the game to Eamon Martin. If you didn't see it, please go back to right before the second quarter ends. Eamon has a fantastic three. But the Lions do still have just under 3 minutes to play. And it's going to be their ball, 41-33. Georgetown bringing a big press. Ball's into Charles Prather. Gus Blood wide open. They don't see him. Eamon Martin, nice spin move, gets past Watson and Steinbach and Marquette. Matthew gets it into Charles Prather. Charles holding on to it, gives it to Gus Blood. Gus in the paint against Marquette, throws it up, no good. And there's going to be a foul on the court. That foul's on J.J. Hall, number 55, the Lions' 9th. Gustin Blood takes his first third throw, knocks it down. 42-33, down by 9 with 2 minutes, 32 seconds left. Gus Blood with a lot of noise from the opposing fans. No hesitation, knocks down his second free throw to make it a 10-point game. Steinbach to Marquette, 2:24. Up to Watson at the top. Fitzpatrick lays back on defense, and Charles Prather comes flying over and tips the ball. It's going out of bounds. Stops the clock, 2 minutes, 13 seconds left. Inbounded to Steinbach. Steinbach's going to take the three. No good. Watson with the rebound, dribbles back out. 2:13 left in the game. Steinbach threatens to take another one. Gets it to Lotus. Lotus takes a three, and he's going to knock that one down. 2 minutes, 3 seconds left. The Lions got to play smart here. Fitzpatrick holding on to it. A press being brought. Eamon Martin is going to quickly get past Steinbach easily. Gets Steinbach almost on the ground, but doesn't. A minute 47. Fitzpatrick holding on to it. He's going to drive, and Fitzpatrick drives into the paint and Euro steps. What a fantastic play by William Fitzpatrick. Small man gets into the paint and lays it in for two. Marquette is going to take another three and knock it down, responding to that great play from Fitzpatrick. Eamon Martin gets to Matthew Romero. Matthew slowing it down, taking his time. Eamon Martin with it, gives it to Fitzpatrick. A minute, 15 seconds. The Lions are no need to score. Over to Charles Prather. Eamon Martin now with it. J.J. Hall guarding him, not wanting to foul him. Over to Matthew Romero. A minute and 4 seconds left. Spazia is going to call a timeout with a minute and 3 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 39-45. Lions up by 6. And, I mean, if you do think about it, all they need is 2 threes. La Salette has to play smart, realize that it's still a very close game. And they need to make sure that they are playing strong defense, smart with the ball. I would say there's about 4 more possessions to go in this game. 2 for both teams, and Georgetown has quickly come down and put points on the board, so they gotta make sure they're smart with the ball. Lions gonna come out of the timeout greatly energized from that last play of William Fitzpatrick. It's gonna be Lions ball. 1 minute and 3 seconds left. They need to inbound it and hold on to it. Gotta watch out for Watson. He's had a knack of getting his hands on the ball at critical times. Amon, he's gonna find Charles. Charles holding on to it. Hands it to Fitzpatrick. 59 seconds. Over to Amon Martin, holding on to it. Gets to Matthew. Matthew loses control of the ball. It's going out of bounds. Georgetown he's gonna get another chance to put points on the board. 53 seconds left. And the nerves are high in this room. Very possible for Georgetown to score. Lions have to play strong defense here. (45-39), 53 seconds left. In the 4th quarter, Lions are in the bonus, and if they get fouled, they're going to be in the double bonus. Another huge factor for the Lions. Georgetown taking a little bit longer to come out of the timeout. Number 14, he's coming in for J.J. Hall. That's Logan Hummel. The Lions don't have the threat of a big man down to the post. Watson holding on to it. 40 seconds, clock ticking. Steinbach gives it to McQuett. McQuett over to Steinbach. Nice trapping out of the 3. Steinbach back with it. They won a 3, gets it back to McQuett. Lions nice getting out there. Steinbach is left open. Watson comes up with the rebound. 31 seconds, clock ticking. Watson's gonna take a deep 3 off the backboard hard. Amon Martin comes up with it, and he slips and falls. He's called for the travel. 23.5 seconds left. 39-45. Steinbach's inbounding it. Finds McQuett. McQuett gets it to Lotus. Lotus over to Watson. Lotus over at the perimeter. Out to Steinbach. 16 seconds left. McQuett takes the shot off the rim. No good. Amon Martin this time comes up with the rebound. McQuett's going to foul Amon. He's going to the free throw line to shoot 2. 9.1 seconds left. Amon's got to knock these 2 points down to hit the nail in the coffin and take this game away. Knocks down the first one. And that might be the game. 46-39, they're down by 7. It's going to take 3 possessions, and I think I can say it's quite impossible for them to do that in 9 seconds. Second free throw is good. 47-39. Steinbach quickly bringing it up the court. Over to Watson. McQuett's going to take a 3. That's going off the top of the rim. And that is game, ladies and gentlemen. 1.6 seconds left. 47-39. Amon inbounds it to Chuck. And there goes the buzzer. The Lions come off with another victory. 47-39. What a game. But that's not it for this week. The Lions are going to be playing another big rival. That's Arthur Oka. That's going to be tomorrow in the afternoon. And please come and tune in for that. The times should be on our website. But until then, this is Seamus Hanlon and Michael McCall tuning in. Thank you very much.